Total Home Improvement Company presents the Spring Blowout Special of the season. Remodel your kitchen, bathroom, basement, plus flooring specials for every room. Call 313-728-2025 for your free in-home estimate today. Mention this commercial and get 10% off your project. Call 313-728-2025. Remodel your home today. Total Home Improvement, the company you call for your home improvement needs.
You're watching United Gospel Explosion. United Gospel Explosion. TV!
See, I'm a gangster with God and I'm spreading the word. Truth be told, that's right, truth be heard. No matter what your gift is, it's made to see. So give it up for victory. Come on, Gospel Explosion. TV, Gospel Explosion.
Hey, Detroit. I hope you're enjoying the first segment of the show. I was going into a little depth. I actually let that play. I let that play because, you know, it was controversial a couple of weeks ago when Kobe died and the Snoop Dogg and Gayle thing was aired. So, I say internationally, it became a really big deal. And, you know, in the heat of passion, if you miss what I was saying before, in the heat of passion, I say, Snoop came and let Gayle know in certain words that, you know, don't crush our hero. Don't crush our own dreams. We've been fighting with ourselves too long. But the way he said it, you know, he got heated and he used the B word, which many of us have heard before, you know, but he used the B word in the midst of that chastisement, and it sent shockwaves out. It sent shockwaves out to our community and other communities as well. But I'm gonna let you know something. I don't agree with Snoop maybe going that far and calling Gayle the B word, and you know that's Oprah's girl, but it has nothing to do with that. She's been out here doing it a long time, and she's respected. But it wasn't so much what happened, but how he handled it. I was so proud of him. And I think that it speaks volumes to us as a community. We can have our differences, and we could even be wrong. But the thing is to be able to come back together. And at least he came and apologized. And it hit me as genuine because when Snoop apologized to Gayle, and to the world, really, to women in general for the outburst, he explained that, you know, we hurt too, men hurt too, you know, we have our problems too, we have our shortcomings, our failures. Sometimes we don't always handle a situation right, you feel me? But the idea is he came in and told her that, look, he was hurting. Kobe was a personal friend of his. We know his relationship with Ella, strong, proud-minded towards L.A. and the different things they had did in the past. And he was shouting out and screaming out that, look, these are our black heroes. And this is Black History Month. I'm putting it all together, though, but these are the people that we're honoring. And no, they may not be perfect, but you know, why do we pull ourselves down more than other races will pull themselves down? Why do we always have to be the ones that feel that we have to be harder on ourselves? And as he put it is that, you know, sometimes our heroes, we come at our heroes worse than the outside do. When it's something to be, when an attack is needed, oftentimes the enemy will put us up to attack each other. When I'm saying the enemy, I'm saying whoever that is that will be coming against that black hero, I say. And Kobe, if you say whatever, he had a huge following. You have to call him a superhero. The way he controlled the L.A. Forum for years, as well as the world in basketball. But his question is, why do we have to come in each other? And when he said that, I guess he's in the gutter right then of his emotions, and he did go overboard. He said he was sorry the way he expressed it, but there's no need for Kobe to be sorry about pointing that out. Why are we our own worst enemies? To call any woman a B, especially on national TV and all that, yes, definitely that's wrong. But the point I'm making is, why are we our own worst enemies? That bears no apology. That since slavery, we're the ones that helped sell our people into slavery. So we have to quit tearing our people down, and there must be a build-up. We must start looking for a build-up. And I also used that last segment because it talked about love, L-O-V-E. And, you know, oftentimes love describes something, an emotion, a setting, a relationship, you're in love. But also, love is a verb. Do you hear me? Love is an action word that if we use that action word in our lives, if we use that action word in our business, what am I saying? Wait, what are you saying, Torrance? What are you saying? I know, right? If we start using love in our business as an action word, as a verb, putting it as the center and root of what we're doing out here in our families, schools, workplace, in our community, we start putting love first, then we're going to treat each other a little different. We're going to respect each other a little different. We're going to be mindful of each other a little bit different. So I brought that whole segment of love in just for you to get a feel of that. I'm going to give this one to you, and I'm going to get off my soapbox because I want you to know something. I was doing some construction. You guys know I affiliate with that. And it was for some of our Arabic brothers. And while doing so, one of the young men at the house engaged with me, teenager. He had to be no more under 20 years old. So he's talking to me. He say, you know, we're different. And it offended me. I'm saying, we're different. What you mean by that? You know? I mean, I'm working in your house, but you know, I'm getting paid for it. I want a job. You work, you get paid for what you do. You may have a store, I'm doing this. What do you mean different? You know, our colors are different. What are you trying to say? He say, we're different in how we treat our people around us, how we treat our families. I said, well, what do you mean? He said, do you have a sister? I said, yeah, I got 2 sisters, you know. I claim many more sisters. All y'all my sisters. But he said, he said, how often do you talk to them? And it made me think, well, I talked to one about a week prior, and the other one, it had been a few days since I talked to them, but they were doing fine. And I hadn't heard anything bad about them, so, you know. Yeah, you know, I stay in communication with them. Of course, they're my sisters. He said, see, we're different. And I said, what do you mean by we're different? He said, I call my sister, this guy told me this, and it was out of love he was saying this about his sister. He said he called his sister 2 or 3 times every day. Every day. And I thought for a minute that in my family, that way it might be considered sick. You know, she'd be like, what you want, boy? Is something wrong? But they are conditioned to interact with their family so often. And, you know, you may not know it, but your family and those closest around you, you know, that's part of your power circle. That's part of your launching platform. So when he said that, it really made me think for a minute that we were different. Our culture was a little different. That closeness could have been bred out of us. You know, we were only taught to be so close to anyone and to stay about your business, nose to the grindstone. But the difference was, and it really kind of hits me now, because I'm going to get into entrepreneurship in a minute. I got a couple of things going to blow your mind. I'm going to talk about entrepreneurship and the newfound freedom in your entrepreneurship, and also how to take your entrepreneurship to the next level. I've been meditating on this, and God just gave me this insight on this, and I'm sharing it with you. But it starts from this platform of love, caring. And you know, I'm relating it to biblical teachings too, because when you look at it, Jesus said that the greatest commandment, now you can't kill, you should not steal, you should not covet your neighbor's wife, etc. But the greatest commandment of all was love your neighbor like you love yourself. Wow, I think I said something there. I don't know if you heard, but I think love your neighbor like you love yourself. Could that be the greatest commandment even before all the other commandments? And I was like putting that into everyday life. And then it hit me with the young man that said to me that he calls his sister like 3 times a day. He didn't care if it bugs her and she probably cussed him out on the phone, or well, mine would, you know, on the third call, probably on the third day. That's 9 calls in 3 days. She might get a little tired of me, but nonetheless, to call her, if it's nothing but to hear her say, I'm fine, I'm all right. How powerful is that? How powerful is that? But before I go on into going into the concepts and precepts of what I'm talking about on the entrepreneurship, I look at that and I had to ask myself then, this is another question relating to the Bible. Say I'm setting this entrepreneurship of the teachings that we saw of Jesus. You may be looking at Muhammad, Buddha, or whatever, Confucius. Any of them, fine for you to look at that. I'm choosing Jesus because I'm a Christian minister. I'm in the ministry here. But whatever you choosing as a mentor, as a guiding factor, look at the character, the attitude, the precepts. Look at the way these men carried themselves and what the result ultimately was. But in this sense, I'm going to ask you this. Jesus being Jesus, right? But then why did he need disciples? He didn't have to have the disciples to get his word out, but why did he choose disciples? And then not only that, why did he pour the disciples into the business he was doing? The business of soul winning. Why did he pour disciples into the business of changing people's lives with him? Well, that's the question I want you to hold on to a minute. I'm going to come back and answer those for you. Now, then we're going to get right into the power of your entrepreneurship and taking it to the next level. It was a reason he called those men around him, and it's a reason why you have to gather men and people around you, too. I'm going to pause a minute and come back here at the half of the show, but it's a big question. I want you to ponder that a minute. Why did Jesus use disciples? And what's this power of love have to do with your business? It's a lot. We'll be right back. You're watching United Gospel Explosion TV.
You're watching United Gospel Explosion. United Gospel Explosion TV.
See, I'm a gangster with God and I'm spreading the word. Truth be told, that's right, truth be heard. No matter what your gift is, it's made to see. So give it up for victory. Gospel Explosion TV. Gospel Explosion.
Total Home Improvement Company presents the Spring Blowout Special of the season. Remodel your kitchen, bathroom, basement, plus flooring specials for every room. Call 313-728-2025 for your free in-home estimate today. Mention this commercial and get 10% off your project. Call 313-728-2025. Remodel your home today. Total Home Improvement. the company you call for your home improvement needs.
You're watching United Gospel Explosion. United Gospel Explosion. TV!
See, I'm a gangster with God and I'm spreading the word. Truth be told, that's right, truth be heard. No matter what your gift is, it's made to see. So give it up for victory. Gospel Explosion, TV, Gospel Explosion.
What's love got to do with it? What's love? Love has everything, absolutely everything to do with this thing I'm talking about. Welcome back. We hope you guys enjoyed the first half of the show. But we've been talking about concepts of love, concepts of forgiveness, the power of togetherness. I just didn't say concepts, I should say powers of love. And when I left you with that question that even Jesus chose disciples. And the question was why? Why did he not only choose disciples, but why did he have them follow him around in just about every work that he did? And also, not only that, why did he put in love as the greatest commandment? Now, I'm putting this all together in the school of entrepreneurship, and we've been giving out seeds of entrepreneurship all month, and we'll be going through next month, bringing in special guests that have businesses that's actually pillars in our community that's doing positive things out here, so you can have something to model your business and some of your actions on, but I'm gonna break this down right now, and this is what came to me, that Jesus had disciples around him. And many of you say, to be a witness. Absolutely, you're right. To be a witness of the work that he was doing, so they could go out and tell somebody about the work. Tell somebody about how he was healing the sick and raising people from the dead and doing the miracles he was doing. Why? Why though? To let them know that there was hope, to bring them into the masterwork that he was doing, which was changing men's lives, saving their souls. This was his business. So in his business, he brought in people with them to go along with them. But not just to witness though. In your business, you need to pull people in to go along with you too. I often would tell people, don't try this home alone. Don't go out here and try to be great by yourself. But build a great team of people around you. And then you don't have to worry about being so great yourself. What you say to him? What you say? Oh, I'm giving it to you now. This is hard and heavy. You may not catch it, but I want to let you know something. Continue to build your team. Even though your team is not perfect, the members in your team aren't perfect. None of the disciples were perfect. But he was able to build a team with his disciples, these men he personally chose and brought amongst them. You're able to build a team for your business with the people you choose and bring around you that makes you stronger than what you are. It didn't have to make Jesus strong. I'm not saying that. But I'm saying he brought men into his organization, which he called disciples. And with those disciples, he could do more than what he could have done alone, because at the point when he left, they could carry on his work. And I mean, when you pull your people in, you're going to get some Peters. I'm just trying to say you're going to get some great ones, and you're going to get some Judases. You're going to get some that may even go against your very work. But you can't let that hold you back from understanding the power of building a great team. Oh, I see. I'm talking something. I I hope they record this because we got to show this again. I'm saying when you are going into your business, your entrepreneurship, you need a team. And I'm going to remind you of something. Most of our communities, when we go into our restaurants now or the supermarkets or even the gas station, you see these collectives of the owner's family. Most of them look like him, talk like them, whatever the circumstance, but they're a team built around people around them that they've chosen to come in and help fulfill their dream, fulfill their entrepreneurship needs. Am I talking to somebody out there? Do you realize for you to become a great entrepreneur, you need people? When Ford Motor Company, and I'm just shooting this at you with Ford, it's not off the subject, but it's not the subject, but when Ford Motor Company built a vision for his cars, he had the vision for his cars, he brought people in to help them assemble the cars. But I mean, first he was doing all this stuff, maybe with one or two people, but he saw something in that with the collective of people, he could build an assembly line where the car would come in one door, its parts, and leave out the other door, fully assembled. So now he had something he could complete and continue to roll, and not only that, he could duplicate. And I remember in marketing class, one of my favorite sayings I had caught on to was, hard work will get you paid, but duplication will make you rich. And I began to look at the McDonald's picture and the Kentucky Fried Chickens of the world and the different businesses that took that concept and took it to a new level. Now, I'm saying something to you. You don't have to. I love all the people that you bring along for the journey. It's not so much even that personal relationship you may have with every member in your organization, especially as it grows. Ford doesn't know my name when I worked there. Well, Mr. Chrysler for me, I worked for Chrysler for some. He didn't know my name. Mr. Chrysler, he couldn't recognize me at the party, but I was right there pressing out parts, turning bolts, helping to make his automobiles. So you may not know every person. You won't know every person that's a part of your organization as it blows up and grows. But are all those components important? Are all those disciples a part of the bigger picture? I'm showing you the comparison and contrast of the work Jesus did, the work you're trying to do right now. The work masters have done before and the work you're trying to do right now. The Mazes of the world would be nothing without the men that stand out on the street, the men that actually participate every day. You know, even Elijah Muhammad's were Farrakhan's. I think when he just came to town, I noticed that every man that was selling papers that week was saying, hey, are you going to go see Farrakhan? Are you going to go? So your organization is only as big as the members in that organization, including yourself. And then you become bigger in your entrepreneurship as you share with others. Only have about 20 minutes left, so if you can, get your ink pen, because I'm going to give you some, and I got to shoot it to you fast right now. The power of love in your business demonstrates a caring, demonstrates an empathy. Do you actually know the members in the beginning, and you can care about their personal needs, their family needs, which builds together camaraderie, which builds together power. I notice in a lot of stores, you see them open and close every day. And if I ask you who were the successful people in your neighborhood, you'll probably say the gas stations, the liquor stores, the supermarkets, and so on and so on. It's not that many to choose from. But in all those organizations, the things we see as successful is the fact that you open and close every day at a certain time. You're there to do business and you're accessible every day. Some may say from the hours of 9 to 5 or whatever your hours are, but you're accessible every day. And the fact that you see them open and close from 9 to 5, the fact when you go in that supermarket and you look around and you see the fruit section looking fresh and you see the canned goods on stock there, the shelves are up there stocked up, the fact that you see the meat looking pretty good, it makes us feel that that's a successful business. But it's done through the members that he has. You know, you got a man over there that's running that produce section. You got a man back there running that meat section. You got a man that's over there stocking them cans and making sure they pull it to the front to make them look. Do you realize I've been to the market, and when you try this yourself, you go up to an aisle of cans, and when you look at the aisle closely, all the cans are pushed to the front. So if there's some empty spaces, they always in the back. Somebody has made sure that market look full and stocked. Someone has made sure that you are looking good on every level of that particular business. Those are your components. Those are your people that are so important. The thing is that if you pay attention to this little note I'm giving you, and you get enough people in there that's responsible people, let's say a person to run all those different sections, the produce, the canned goods, the meats, over there who's ever running the beverages, keeping them stocked up. And then the person you have in there as a responsible manager, counting the money, looking at all the other components. Do you realize, and this is one of the biggest things I'm going to give you ever in business, that now you've got a newfound freedom in your entrepreneurship. But what do you mean? What do you mean? What's the freedom? What's the freedom? Well, I'm glad you asked. This freedom in your entrepreneurship deals with you being able now to leave your store, to go home at night or to go home during the day while your store is still working, to be able to take care of other business, maybe visit the bank, financial institutions to get loans for your business, to be able to expand what you're doing by having competent people around you to help you do it. Man, I just love it, you know, because when you think back on the successful businesses that we came up with, we had like Motown. Motown had so many different components and leaders to it. And one of my other heroes there was Johnson & Johnson Products. Mr. Johnson had so many competent people. Maybe he had the Ebony out. He had the Jet out, if you recall the little Jet magazine. And he also had the products, the hair products for Johnson & Johnson. But they were different presidents over each division. And they were using these concepts we're talking about. And I'm saying this is our newfound freedom and entrepreneurship begin to learn to come together again. Someone was talking to me and they were saying, well, our people would never do that. I say that's a lie. I say the devil is a liar because we will do that. But I understand that we have to be patient with ourselves. And like Snoop Dogg say, don't tear down our own so quickly. Instead of seeing what you can say with your mouth to tear it down, let's see what we can say with our mouths to build it up. This isn't just for you, but it's for the next generation. That they learn the concepts of doing good business. You're learning the concepts of how to step in, be on point, help each other, work together, and yes, love each other. I got to take one more break, and I'm going to come back, and on the sign off, I'm going to shoot the main blow to you.
You're watching United Gospel Explosion. United Gospel Explosion. TV!
See, I'm a gangster with God and I'm spreading the word. Truth be told, that's right, truth be heard. No matter what your gift is, it's made to see. So give it up for victory. Gospel Explosion. TV. Gospel Explosion.
Total Home Improvement Company presents the Spring Blowout Special of the season. Remodel your kitchen, bathroom, basement, plus flooring specials for every room. Call 313-728-2025 for your free in-home estimate today. Mention this commercial and get 10% off your project. Call 313-728-2025. Remodel your home today. Total Home Improvement, the company you call for your home improvement needs.
You're watching United Gospel Explosion. United Gospel Explosion. TV!
See, I'm a gangster with God and I'm spreading the word. Truth be told, that's right, truth be heard. No matter what your gift is, it's made to see. So give it up for victory. Gospel Explosion. TV. Gospel Explosion.
All right, guys, we're back. Y'all have to excuse me. I get a little hyped sometimes. You hear me shouting and screaming. You know, just know God ain't finished working on me yet. He got a few more screws to tighten up. But he working on me, though. You know, you got to recognize that you're a work in progress, too. And so that brings me to the next level of your entrepreneurship. Now, we've talked about things. You saw different things. You know, you've heard the positive affirmations of many entrepreneurs if you've been watching the show. I think I'm going to post these shows somewhere on our YouTube at Torrance JTV1. And also maybe on our Facebook somewhere out there on James Torrance with 2 capital I's. James Torrance with 2 capital I's. You'll be able to go back and look over some of these and think about them. I want you to meditate on them for your business. If you're one of these people that's blessed to be an entrepreneur, and I'm not putting entrepreneur over people that have worked all their life. 20 years, 30 years in a business, investing their time, being paid well for their service, going on to do good things in life. I'm not knocking that at all. But I'm saying if we're truly going to enjoy the freedom and equality as a people, we have to have some entrepreneur flags set up around us in our communities. Why do I say that? You know, I want to be real careful. This is Black History Month. I love the work that King did and the others did. I love the work that Farrakhan, Jesse Jackson, different leaders did during the Million Man March. Hats off to that. But you know, I'm going to tell you something. The Bible says faith without works is dead. Marching without ownership is also dead. It's okay. We can march and we can stand up and we can say, hey, you stepped on our toe. But at the same time, we have to realize it's so important for us to be able to say that I own that supermarket, so I can hire this group of people here to work in it. I own that factory, so I can hire some of my people to work in there as well. Not in a negative or even a prejudice sense at all, just in the sense of being able to lift yourself up. Then you're not depending on others to lift you up. It's a sad state you come to when you expect the master to put you in his house and he go and get in yours. It just doesn't work that way. Maybe that's strong, but a real analogy that to have your own wealth, you also have to have your own creators of your wealth. In a physical sense, I'm not talking about spiritually, you're rich already, we are rich and equal, but here in this earthly plane where we live, here where our community is, if you go in 10 stores and none of them are African American owned, if you go in 10 restaurants and none of them are African American owned, if you go into 10 businesses of any sorts in your neighborhood and none of them are owned by you or someone like you, something's wrong. You know, hats off to the Chinese restaurants. Big ups to the any other food, the Greek food, or the shawarma restaurants open up all over town. But then special hats up also to the soul food restaurants. I'm not going to name names, but you see a lot of them springing up now, and that gives you a balance where you also own businesses in your own community. And now in those businesses, you have the right to hire the people that look like you in that neighborhood. And you're sophisticated enough that if you put one of those restaurants, if I put a James Torrance Soul Food in China, then I'm gonna have Chinese people up front at the front desk of it. That's my right to do that, and it's a smart business choice because that's why I have the restaurant set up. But the point I'm making in all of this is it's a new freedom in your entrepreneurship that gives you the ability to hire your own people. Take your people off the street, put them in training, give them a new opportunity to do great. Next week, I'm going to have a representative here from Detroit Cabinet Manufacturing. It's a new manufacturing company that's actually set up in Detroit, Michigan. A young man owns that factory named Terry Davis and some of his associates there. But what I like about that factory is it's a black-owned factory that's not competing on the sake of its blackness. It's competing with the world, making products like any other cabinet maker would make, whether it be craft-made or mirror-led or really expensive-looking cabinets. But cabinets are even better, made with the extra nails in them, the extra glue in it, and it's made with a sense of pride. But the point I'm doubly making is it's an African-American-owned company. And I mentioned it on our TV show, that these things can fit together to also give you a competitive platform that if you're ready, the world is ready for you. But you got to love somebody. You got to love somebody to do the kind of things I'm saying to you right now. And if you're in this fight, if you understand what I'm saying in this struggle that we're in to gain equality. It has nothing to do with your freedom. You've been free. But equality. Oh, watch out, Torrance. I may be saying too much here, but the equality is coming at the price of us using these concepts. I'm talking about the concept of loving your neighbor as you love yourself. So you love your neighbor. You want to give them a good product, right? You love your neighbor, so you want to make sure that they have food on their table like you have on yours. So you hire your neighbor, you hire your brother and sister, you hire your like kind into these businesses that you're developing so everyone eats. And I have to give a great appreciation for the different races I see around the world that are actually hiring their own, and they come to this country. A lot is immigrants. They'll build their businesses up. They'll hire their own to the point of, if I ask you who runs produce, you'll probably say the Jews or the Italians, because it speaks for itself. If I ask you who ran the gas in this country, the gas station in this country, you'll probably say, if you're from our community, you'll probably say the Arabs run the gas stations in this country. And it speaks for itself. And so on with the supermarkets and so on with the Coney Islands. But what I'm going to begin to ask you over the next month is, who's running things in your community? And are there opportunities for openings for growth in the community? I heard one of the brothers that had a show on here, Brother Malik Shabazz, is opening a supermarket. I'm going to try to get him on the show in the near future. Because not so much that I'm a lover of supermarkets or they're going to change the world instantly for us, but wouldn't it be great if a couple of the supermarkets in your neighborhood were black-owned supermarkets selling to you? Just like it would be in any other neighborhood. When you go into different parts of the country or different parts of the state here, You go outside Detroit, you'll see that people in that community own their supermarkets. So it's just amazing the newfound freedom that you have. And we'll be discussing taking the entrepreneurship to the next level throughout the month of March. We're gonna have a Resurrection Day. That's the Resurrection Day is going to be where we highlight the different businesses that's open in your community, that's owned by you, that's doing business for you. And I'm not saying just go there, but at least they should be part of our options. Well, that's what I'm talking about. We've been opened up with love, and like I said, we're going to end this thing in love too. It's love that's going to set us free. Respect for each other is what's going to set us, well, we're free now, but make us equal. To be able to do business together, to be able to exchange ideas with each other, to be able to go to the next level. You've been watching United Gospel Explosion TV. We love you, and there's nothing you can do about it. Get ready to take your entrepreneurship to the next level, month of March. Peace.
You're watching United Gospel Explosion. United Gospel Explosion. TV!